Paltrocast.
I just want you to answer how you doing today whenever you're ready. You doing good today?
I'm doing terrific. What's not to be terrific about living in Southern California a day after the rainstorms? The air is clear.
No smog,
No smog. The clouds
no
are all
traffic.
fluffy and white. Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Well, it's a pleasure to be connecting again. And Barbee Rehab is the new but not new project because you filmed it a couple of years ago with a great cast. But
I
think
did.
it's one of the most proud things on your resume, right?
Yeah. Barbee Rehab changed my life. When I got on set there, and there was Tom Sizemore, the great Academy Award winner, and Bai Ling and Vanessa and Derek, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody was so uplifting and funny and wanting to make a great movie. And I bought right into this, where I fell right into the bandwagon. It was a great moment in my life.
Right. I had the pleasure of interviewing Tom a couple of months before he lost him. I've interviewed Bai a couple of times. Now, is there a more positive, cosmic, relaxed person than Bai Ling?
I think she's nuts. I think she's really crazy in a great way.
In a great, inspiring way.
She is kooky Von Loopy. She's a trippy actress. She's got her shit together. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Well, like you, she has multiple job titles. So the thing is, she's producing, directing, she's got her musical career, etc. Now you, multiple best-selling, I can't speak today, multiple best-selling author on multiple titles and all that, producer, actress, arguably the first supermodel ever. Now, when you started modeling, did you know that you wanted to go into acting and writing books and so forth?
Oh yeah. I mean, throughout my modeling career, it was a phenomenon, actually, me being a supermodel, because for me, I wore all these hats. I wore all these hats when I was modeling, and they wouldn't let me come up for air for several years, 20 years to be exact. I had the longest career in modeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fashion shows that I was doing. I was doing runway work. I was working with the designers on a daily basis. I was working with photographers on a daily basis. So they wouldn't let me hang my heels up. They had me going and going and going.
Right. One thing I admire about your modeling career is how outspoken you are / were. That most models try and do the please like me, whereas you always spoke your mind. And I mean that in a very good, positive way.
Thank you very much. And it wasn't towards the end of my modeling career that I started writing books. I started writing books in the middle of my modeling career. So it was very, very good for me to have that experience come along. When Judith Regan calls you up on the telephone, she's my publisher, you answer the phone.
Right. She also gave the world basically Howard Stern as an author. Without Judith Regan, would Howard Stern have crossed over into the mainstream? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And she put him on the map. I guess she told him to be crazy and wear jock straps and go garden in your jock strap. Just make a name for yourself, Howard.
Right. That's what Judith did. So over to you now. Is there any field that you haven't yet conquered that you're still hoping to make a difference in?
Well, I'm doing the record business now, and the record business is so much fun. At times today, I think I've blown my earlobe out. My earlobe keeps coming in and out. I don't know how to modulate my voice where I could get a solid high in the high pitches. It's hard for me to modulate.
Tinnitus.
I think something like that. So it goes in and out. Yeah.
I wear earplugs to concerts myself. That's a good step.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Because Saturday night I went to the Hollywood Bowl and I saw Tchaikovsky's Tchaikovsky with the Philharmonic, and they were very, very loud. And I think I left that I left that concert, but my ear has been going in and out since then.
Have you always been a classical music fan?
Yes, yes. I grew up in a band at school. It was like a choir band,
Mhm.
and we played most of the classics, and I
Oh,
danced ballet, so I was dancing to the classics as well. And I was always involved in the arts. They were just always spinning around in my life. You know, if I wasn't looking at magazines, I was studying ballerinas work.
so when you say that you're working in the records business, does that mean you have a label or you're producing or what's going on?
Well, I don't have a label yet.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're producing everything ourselves, and then we're going to hand it to a record company. See, I think that way they won't have the authority to go in and change stuff because
Right.
it'll already be out on the EP. That's
Right.
that's that's how I'm going to try to play them.
So you're going to own the masters, you're going to be calling the shots, and they have to get into business with you, not vice versa.
That is correct.
Okay. So, in other words, what, 30, 40 years of calling your own shots?
Always, my whole life, I've called my own shots. I I wake up, I do what I want. I go to sleep, I do what I want. I happen to have found a husband who I sort out and get along with.
The key to bliss. And another thing about you, I've never seen you write much about or talk much about your New York upbringing. Where in New York are you originally from?
Oh, no, 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 no. I grew up in Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, so IMDb and Wikipedia and all that are wrong?
They are all wrong. I grew up in Hollywood, Florida, and I went from Hollywood, Florida to Hollywood, California, actually. And that's how it all happened. So I
So you
see.
were from Hollywood, Florida before they had the Hard Rock Casino there.
That's correct. That's correct.
And did you move all the way out west because entertainment and work required it, or is that by
No,
choice?
I was living in New York City, having a hell of a modeling career. And I decided in the 80s, I was tired of New York for the time being because I would move around. I'd go live in Milan for a couple of years. I'd go live in Paris for a couple of years. I'd go live in New York for 10 years, Japan for a couple of months. I traveled where I wanted to go and investigate the culture.
So it sounds like you're a good packer.
I'm a good packer.
So
I,
if you've moved that many times to that many places, you don't fear moving in the name of having a better life. A lot of people go, "Oh, I don't want to move my stuff. I don't want to get rid of stuff." But you've done that so many times.
oh no, you get rid of, you sort it out. If you don't like it, just leave it there. Move on, move on, move on is my motto.
So there aren't like 8 storage spaces with all the memorabilia.
No, I've given most of my things away, which is fine because I had amassed thousands and thousands of items of clothes. And I just, if people came in my closet and they liked something, I just gave it to them.
Oh, well, that my question or my line of thinking was leading to, will we ever see a museum exhibit from you? For example, all the famous outfits and artifacts, but sounds like you gave it all away.
Yeah, it could be if some invested person wanted to go, and I know who I gave things to. So if they wanted to go pick it up for the showing of the museum show, I'm sure they'd lend it to them.
And will we see another book from you?
Yes.
Because oh, so that is a yes. And will there be 8 chapters about Barbee Rehab or just two?
Oh, there'll be a lot of chapters. Barbee Rehab is now in my bones and in my life. In fact, some days I think I'm a Barbie. I've got all the wardrobe from Vanessa. She wore like this coat is from the Barbee Rehab couture. As you can see, it has
Yeah.
this big play collar, and I feel like I really am just hanging out in a Barbie subland.
Barbie Subland. I think that might be the title of the next book, Barbie Subland.
Barbie subland. Yeah, in my opinion.
And the last question before I let you go, besides Barbee Rehab, what's a TV show that we should be watching? Do you have any recommendations for things that are great?
No, I think Barbee Rehab is the only one on the on television that's worthwhile watching, because you can watch it hundreds of times and see everything from a new aspect.
Well said.
I'm not kidding. I watch it every day. I watch Suits and Barbee Rehab, and I watch Law and Order. So
Oh,
you go figure. These are my preferred visits on television. I'm a
you're
creature
very
of
hard
habit.
to nail down in terms of you like procedurals, you like mockumentaries, you like a
Yes,
little bit of everything.
I'll throw some Shark Week in there too.
And Tchaikovsky and high
Tchaikovsky.
fashion. And Janice, you just keep us all guessing. Well, thank you for your time and looking forward to that next book.
You're so very welcome. And call me if you have anything you want to talk about.
Paltrocast.